Hello and welcome to the first episode of 2012 of Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Alan Brugman from the city of Bryan.
And I'm Sandy Ferris with Bryan ISD.
We have several stories for you today that occurred over the holiday break. We'll show you two recent retirement ceremonies of City of Bryan leaders, and we'll show you a sign dedication ceremony at the Bryan Justice Center.
And we'll share our latest Just a Minute, where we profile a Bryan ISD teacher. But first, we'll tell you about a partnership between the district and the Brazos County Emergency Preparedness and Response Department, in which 2 buses were donated by the district to begin a new life.
Bryan ISD is, of course, required by state law to be a part of participation of in any type of emergency. We run the shelters during hurricanes because of that requirement. But it's also just a great thing to do for our community. When the county came and asked if they could get some surplus buses from us to increase their emergency response capability, what we're doing is fitting these buses for emergency injury transport. They'll be fitted to hold 12 patients each. The county wanted to enter into an agreement with us, and we have a memorandum of understanding with the county that allows us to transfer our ownership of the buses to the county and then, of course, participate. We're actually going to be storing the buses for the county and maintaining them in running condition so that whenever they are needed, they're ready to go.
Basically, this is going to be like building a house. You know, this here has got the floor already.
We have become a medical evacuation site for folks that are being evacuated from the coast during a hurricane. We've done it several times so far, and every time one of our limiting factors has been the number of ambulances that we've had available for to assist from, in essence, during Ike, what happened is we had C-130 aircraft that were landing out at Easterwood Airport, and we really had a transport problem getting people from Easterwood to the alternate care site. In this case, it was Reed Arena back then. Going to different seminars like the Emergency Management Conference and some of the EMS conferences, we've come into contact with the vendor of the kit we're putting into this bus, looked at it and said, you know, that really kind of solves a problem for us. Each bus capable of transporting 12 individuals from site to site. I started looking at this as being a solution to one of the major problems that we had during a situation as I described, which is transporting large quantities of victims. Not necessarily critical, but still not being able to be loaded into a car or a van or something like that. They're basically stretcher cases. So we were able to secure a grant through the Texas Department of State Health Services using CDC funding to purchase 2 kits to put into 2 school buses. Then we started partnering with Bryan ISD, obviously the source of school buses, and we worked out an agreement whereby the school bus provides us with 2 buses every other year. And what we're going to do is we're going to install these kits, and we're going to keep them installed over the course of time so that if we do have a major emergency where we have a large number of casualties, maybe mass gathering like a Reed Arena or a Kyle Field situation or a football game at a high school or whatever else happens where we have large gatherings of people, if something were to happen of a disastrous nature, we'd have the capability of being able to transport large quantities of folks to medical assistance a lot better than relying just on ground ambulances, which we're limited on in this county already. So I mean, this is just something that kind of supplements that patient carrying capability.
Well, Sandy, it's reassuring to know that our area has those type of resources.
It really is, and we hope we never see anything on the scale of what they've seen on the coast with the hurricanes, but it's good to know we have that available if it happens.
Recently, the City of Bryan bid farewell to 2 of our leaders. Bryan Fire Chief Mike Donahoe decided to retire, as did Assistant Police Chief Peter Sheets. Here a look at their retirement ceremonies. Co-workers and friends gathered to say farewell to Assistant Chief Peter Sheets of the Bryan Police Department. Sheets, a 15-year BPD veteran, served in various roles in his career, including patrol officer, detective, and most recently, as Assistant Chief. Sheets will continue his career in law enforcement as the new Chief of Police in Hutto, Texas. And just before that retirement ceremony, the Bryan Police Department received a sign from the department's Citizen Police Academy Alumni Association to mark the PD entrance at the Bryan Justice Center. The 14-inch letters match the existing signs already on the building. The dedication ceremony was held on January 3rd underneath the newly installed sign. After nearly 34 years serving in the Bryan Fire Department, including the past 9 as chief, Mike Donahoe has called it quits. Fire Station 1 was packed with well-wishers to congratulate a man who has served Bryan for most of his life. Donahoe and his wife plan to move from the area, but he told the crowd he'll still be around.
I'm not disappearing. I'm hoping to still work in emergency services once we make our transition to our new home. And I'm excited, and I look forward to the future. But as I look back, I have nothing but fond memories. Thank you, and may God bless every one of you.
Well, our final story today is a look at one of our outstanding teachers at Johnson Elementary, Jaime Mosqueda. Well, I'm here today at Johnson Elementary with Jaime Mosqueda, who is a dual language kindergarten teacher at Johnson. This is part of our Just a Minute series that we've been running for the past few months, where we get to know some teachers in Bryan ISD. Jaime, welcome. I want you to tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm native from Mexico. I was born in Guanajuato, Mexico, and I've been here. Well, let me go back. I went back to school in 2000. I was kind of guided by my wife, Stephanie, to go back to school, because she was a teacher here at Johnson, actually. And she kind of invited me to her classroom, and I kind of got that connection with the kids. And it was a perfect time, because I needed to change careers. And so I went back to Bland, started from scratch, and then I went to A&M. And thank God that I ended up here at Johnson. I started as a teacher's aide. And so basically I've been here at Johnson like going on 10 years.
You're such a high energy person in your classroom, and you really get your students engaged. Tell me what motivates you to come in and do the job you do in the classroom.
What motivates me is the kids, the energy they bring to the classroom, the way they observe and they want to learn, and they take it and they share with everybody else. And I'm going to do a language classroom, and what makes it unique is that I have 11 kids that speak Spanish and 11 kids that speak English. Because a 90-10 model, it's 90% instructions are done in Spanish and 10% in English. And of course, the kids that speak English kind of don't know what's going on at first. But once you start, I implement music a lot. Music, songs, articulate the sounds. In Spanish, you have to use a lot of syllables to put them together to make words and to make sentences. So I implement music, which is a great tool to use. And once they get the hang of all the syllables and words and vocabulary, they can actually start speaking. And that's what drives me to come every day with that energy to help them learn. And what really is key for me is music.
So tell me more about the music. You have original songs that you've written to teach the children the words and numbers and letters in Spanish.
Right.
So, and that has gotten you some attention, I hear.
Yes, when I first started here as a teacher's aide, I noticed that bilingual teachers needed music in Spanish. And I kind of helped them plan and gather materials for the classroom, for the curriculum, whatever they were going to teach, the topic. And I noticed they were struggling to get music, and there was cassettes from artists, different artists, and I was like, well, I'm a musician, and I knew what they needed, so I started exploring with different types of songs and lyrics and put them together. And we tried it with the kids, and they loved it, and that's what got me started. And of course, I wrote a song, and the teacher, whoever was in the classroom, would revise to make sure that that's what they wanted. So that's how I kind of got started. And now I have we have a little business, and with another colleague, she also works here at Bryan ISD. And we have been fortunate in that other districts have actually looked into our materials, and they have actually purchased for the districts, the whole district. So, and I have other districts that are looking into it, and I think that it all comes down that it's based on the curriculum and also Texas Teaks. That's what makes this music a little unique. And also that I'm just so fortunate that I was able to be in the right place at the right time, because I mean, the support that Johnson has given me, Mrs. Hatt, Ms. Nealbold, it's just been wonderful. And I think all that starts with having the people that surround you, that encourage you to keep your talents up, and of course offer the kids, and they learn.
Right.
It's entertainment, but they're learning at the same time.
Right.
Yes.
And outside of the classroom, I think music is a big part of your life as well. Tell me about some of your hobbies and
My
outside
hobbies
interests.
are, music is what I breathe to, and besides teaching now, because it's on, I love teaching. It's not just a job. I enjoy coming every morning. I wake up because I'm going to work. I'm not going to work. I'm going to go teach some kids, and that's what my hobby will be. That I have a family mariachi. We've been together since '89, and we started young. And of course, it's our family and nephews. And besides the mariachi, also after school, I have a guitar club. I have the Johnson Jammers. Also, soccer is also one of my hobbies that I do. I love soccer, and I have a soccer club, Johnson Soccer Club, and of course that everybody tells me, how do you do all this? Well, because I have great support. I have a great team, kindergarten team that helps me a lot, planning, get stuff together, and that allows me to give more time to the kids. Because when I'm gonna go back, because when I was little, I was given music through an uncle. So I like to share that gift with everybody else, and then I think it's just a great way to motivate kids, and even if they just learn a couple of chords, at elementary level, or I have different levels, but by the time they get to high school and the middle school and high school, they just blossom with that instrument, and I think that's another thing. Going back, that's what motivates me. That I know that they're gonna do something with that.
What would you want our community to know about Bryan ISD students? If you could sum up and say, here's something great you need to know about our kids, what would you say?
Our kids, they're like sponges. What you teach them is what they're going to learn. And it's like little blocks. You keep building blocks with them, and we have great students. They want to learn. They're hungry to learn. And I think that if we all come together and as a community and actually teach them what's right and what's wrong, I think it's gonna be a big plus for them as far as they build their academic years, and also let's push them. Let's show them that there's no other way but go to college. That we all need professionals, right? But we need to push them that they have to enhance their education. And I think that going back we have great kids, great families, the community. There's no better place to live than in Bryan.
Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Sandy Ferris.
And I'm Alan Brugman. Thanks for watching.